What's going on? Part 2 of the Sapio concept in the new time. Okay, let me get it out. Let's get this show on the road. I ain't got all day. Do some more searches. We left off at this part with the Daily Beast and the link. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, we're live. We're live. Because what we're going to do is talk about it. I'm going to say no. Yeah, let's see. It's in the chat box. Education. Don't. All right. What's going on, Leonard D. Yahadu? Shalom. Shalom. Okay. Okay. Let's get into it. Pretentious is not a sexual orientation. This is the pushback from it. Oh, please, sapiosexual has to be one of the stupidest sexual identities to come along in years. This is by Samantha Allen from the Daily Beast. There's another link to it. It's a part 2. Oh, shit. Ad free. Oh, damn. No, they didn't. You gonna do this to me now? Stop it. By Samantha Allen. And it's published. Oh, damn. They want you to join. Oh, shit. It's some bullshit, right? No, fuck that. I don't like that. They get on my nerves. Okay. This is, so with that, I'm gonna say F that. Because I don't know what they doing on that. Fuck them on that. I'm gonna take you off my favorites. You fucking up. You fucking up. Move. Get off my shit. It's always something. You try to find something and motherfuckers just ruin it for you. Damn. It was a good link. And they fucked it up for me. That bullshit. Fuck your website. I don't fuck with Daily Beast. Damn. Let me find another one. I did start with the Mashable and things like that. It's just getting on my nerves now. I think I did a pushback on that one. Pisses me off. I'm going to. This is why I hate doing this topic, because I know the same sexuals don't like it because they are against it. I'm just gonna have to bounce around links. Okay, the important questions are sapiosexual just jerks. I'm gonna put this one. Nationalpost.com. It's another link. I'm not gonna say it's Sarah Shenanigan. The sapiosexual identity betrays as an instant on dating traditionally intelligent people as a virtue, not a prejudice. That's what they were saying. Okay. Get off my screen. Share again. Anyone who's opened a dating app recently has become aware of the term sapiosexual. For those of you who don't swipe through hundreds of Tinder users a night in the hopes of finding finding Mr. or Mrs. Right. Let's read that again. Anyone who's opened a dating app recently has become aware of the term sapiosexual. For those of you who don't swipe through hundreds of Tinder users at night in the hopes of finding Mr. or Mrs. Right. Allow me to explain. According to Urban Dictionary, a sapiosexual is someone who finds intelligence and the human mind to be the most sexual attractive feature an individual can possesses. That's what it says. But those boasting being sapiosexual lists to the sexual preference proudly on their dating profiles as if to suggest any would be a suitor shouldn't even bother messaging them unless they're able to lecture extensively or existentialists call nihilist philosophy. Yeah. I found significant percentage of sapiosexuals use this label as a sign of superiority and separation. Unlike us plebes, they're too cerebral to be attracted to shallow things like looks. For example, sapiosexuals could never be seduced by Emma Watson' alluring appearance. They might still date her, though, but after all, she did go to Oxford. That's a shot. Wants more? Good. Straight women in particular should be wary of men claiming to be sapiosexuals. Let's read that again, yo. Straight women in particular should be wary of men claiming to be sapiosexuals. The Venn diagram of the straight dudes self-identifying as sapiosexual and straight dudes with a penchant for mansplaining is closer to a perfect circle than anything Gaetano di Baradon could draw. That's like, I think that's Italian or French or something like that. Yeah. Okay. The last time I stepped out with such gentleman, he soliloquies or something like that. Yeah, soliloquies on the importance of women's marches for about an hour. Yeah, soliloquies. Yeah. He soliloquies on the importance of the women's marches for about an hour. And interestingly, it never occurred to him to ask for an opinion as an actual woman. But the sapiosexual identifier portrays an instant on dating traditionally intelligent people as a virtue, not a prejudice, but however, is pursuing someone for their IQ score better than picking someone for their six pack. Whether we as individuals live up to society definitions of conventional intelligence or conventional attractiveness is a large out of our control. Wow. Another problem with the sapiosexuality is that it suggests you're qualified to judge what importance is, but how does having Tinder profile entitle you to judge a person's intellectual capability? One wonders what metric. I'm gonna save this shit. Hold on. I'm gonna add this to my bookmarks. Yeah. Fuck you, Daily Beast, for fucking up my stream almost. Wonders of the metric what? Okay. Let's start back from the top. Another problem with sapiosexuality is that suggests you're qualified to judge what intelligence is. But how does having a Tinder profile entitle you to judge a person's intellectual capability? One wonders what metric would a sapiosexual use to determine the intelligence of a prospective date? Do they send prospective primars free IQ tests from BuzzFeed? Do they request their love interest complete a Sudoku puzzle before sleeping with them? I love this article. Like lookism, sapiosexuality is worryingly reductive. Worryingly reductive. This preference embraces or discards potential partners on a single aspect of their personhood. It also downplays the importance of the key traits that are within our control, like kindness, generosity, or all important punctuality. Upon reflection, sapiosexuality feels more like a subtle discrimination than a bona fide sexual orientation. That's assuming those claimed to be sapiosexuals are actually being honest about what really turns them on. This is a good article. I saved it, nationalpost.com. That's another side piece of the sapiosexuality. I'm just going to talk about it a little bit, see who's in the box. What's going on, CG3? Yeah, man. I'm just going to make it quick because I think I already covered that independent. Today. Okay. See another link. Okay. Today dot RTL Lou or something. Okay, real life person. Okay, this is the RTL today. What does it mean to be sapiosexual? Are you hetero, flexible, pansexual, or maybe just a little sapio? It's not easy to keep track of all the terms of sexual preferences. So, what's behind the term sapiosexual? And this is what they're trying to say it means. Okay. Being sapiosexual means you are sexually attracted to person's intelligence or mind before their appearance. Sapio derives from the Latin word sapere, which means as much as wise. So it's not really about those ripped abs, but what's in the head. The connection between intellect and eroticism has existed for centuries. Even Plato discussed it in 300 BCE, but never before has sapiosexuality been as popular as it is today. So can we feel sexually attracted through a conversation? The scientific community attempt to explain the term. In a study by the University of Western Australia, researchers concluded that by 8% of the people between the ages of 18 and 35 are sapiosexual. However, among 30 to 45-year-old sapiosexuals are more frequently found on dating websites such as OkCupid. According to the New York Times, about 0.5% of the users on this dating platform are reportedly sapiosexual, including more women than men. It is also precisely this platform that highlighted the word and made it more well known. Yeah, it was found by a guy back in '98. His name was Wolf something. I covered that in part 1. Check that out in that live stream because nobody didn't came up. It was around the nighttime, Eastern time. I covered the rest of it in part 1. This is going to be brief. I ain't going to get much links to this. I'm going to find a few that I like, and I'm just going to skim through. I'm going to see what we got on the time. Yeah, 12 minutes in. What's going on, Tampa? Yeah, because I'm not going to be spending too much time on this because I covered most of it in part 1. There's some another source of people, mix of pushback and agreements with it. So I'm going to cover this topic. Okay, Giles Gannick. Yeah. Or is it Giles or Gilles Gannick? Yeah, I've heard this name before. I've covered it in part 1, but they said the same thing. The lead author of the study concluded that intelligence for some people plays a role in sexual attraction. Intelligent men and women are exciting because they challenge one another to the conventional and everyday subjects. This is emphasized because we tend to associate intelligence with respect, good decisions, and understanding. Many heterosexual, gay, and bisexual people identify as sapiosexual. See, that's interesting when they say that. Sometimes they're really against this term too. I've covered that in part 1. They find the intellect sexually attractive and do not believe that appearance is particularly relevant. However, sapiosexuality has nothing to do with the sexual orientation. It is rather than an identity. They call it an identity, but it's not a sexual orientation. See, that's the confusion right there. See, the alphabet group does not like the term sapiosexual because there's conflict with the orientation. I mean, they know it's an identity, but they don't want to acknowledge it as part of their little group. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of those, and it's political too, and they don't want it. That's who's going to be taking these jobs if you claim that online. So it's been growing since the 2010s, but the term was used back in '98. I've covered that in part 1 in the live stream of the Sapio in the New Time, part 1. You can check that out because I covered most of it in part 1 and what it is. I was going to do 3 parts of this, but I'm done. The next one I'm going to do is hybristophilia. I heard that a lot in the space last year in the brain trust. I'm going to break that down and what that is, and it ain't no big deal. If it reaches the other side of the manosphere as well, I won't break that down. These streams are important. If people want to learn about my channel, I talk about a lot of different things. So sapiosexuals do not claim to be blind to beauty, do not deny it, but they argue that appearance does not elicit the same excitement and fascinating as the intelligent does. And that's about it on that article. It ain't much to it. It's short. Not much. It's not revolutionary attractive. Let's see this. It's thewaddle.com. I'm trying to kill some clock. It's not revolutionary. It's not revolutionary to be attracted to intelligence. They try to say that in sapiosexual right here. That's what they're saying. Everybody's got different viewpoints on it. I covered most of it in part one. I'm just seeing more links. Nobody, essentialism, most probably talking about their nihilists. That's a form of nihilism too. Most people on dating apps have come across at least one person who calls themselves a sapiosexual, like I just mentioned in the National Post I just read. They talk about them being jerks and stuff. These sapiosexuals claim to be the only attracted to people's minds. Love discussions about existentialism, most probably. Yeah, they have, those people are nihilists. If they claim to be sapiosexual, they're really nihilists. Nihilistic and atheistic people think like that. They're in the same realm. I study nihilism on this channel as well. That's a part of the esoteric mindset. It's common in these spaces as well. Some people think it's a bad thing. What I would say some of it is, but some of it is understandable. You just can't change people. I kind of avoid atheistic and flat earth conversations because they lead towards that. It's just like religion. All religion is kind of control. And they talk about monotheism. See, they think from a monotheism themselves. But that's why I don't talk a lot of atheists like on here, because I had my field with them back in 2007 and 2012. I cut them off since then. So I don't even want to get into that. But a nihilist, yeah, they lean towards that. It's hard to reason with them. So it's kind of like it's a no-go. We go our way, he go his way, I go mine. It's basically what it is. They think above the trappings of physical beauty. Hint, nobody is. Most recently celebrated music producer Mark Ronson. I read about him in part one. Check the sapiosexual part one that I had, and it's called The Sapio Concept in the New Time. Yeah. 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 Oh, I'm cooking steam now. Yeah. And on to about Ronson was ITTV's Good Morning Britain, which host asked Ronson his thoughts about sapiosexuality. After being explained the term, Ronson responded, "That sounds great, of course. Who wouldn't be?" While Ronson received a widespread censure on social media when his comments were perceived as him coming out as a sapiosexual. I covered this in part one. If you check it out, and I do the rest, so this is like a repeat. People rain down the critique on him for him thinking sapiosexuality is a valid sexual orientation. It isn't, and he doesn't. Ron's words prove my point. Literally every single human being, I guarantee you, is attracted to intelligence. Let's read that again. Ronson's words prove my point, and here's what it says. Literally every single human being, I guarantee you, is attracted to an intelligence. So why is there a word for it? That's a great question. Let's read in 1998. I talk about this in part one as well. They talk about that wolf guy. Shit. Let's go here. Okay. Oh, damn. I didn't mean to hit that. I hit that by mistake. Hold on, y'all. I hit that by mistake. Hold on. This is getting weary on me. Okay. Yeah. Sorry about the fumble. Okay, let's read the 98. Okay. Live journal username Wolf Boy. I just mentioned that in part one. Claimed to coin the word sapiosexual, defining it as an insensitive and inquisitive, insightful, irrelevant mind. I want someone from whom philosophical discussion is foreplay. Let's just say I'm glad that in 1998, I was 3 years old. This person that wrote this article, he was 3 at the time. Okay, in 98, I was 10. So this person was 3 years old. So, oh my God, he's a zillennial. Figures. He was a zillennial. He's a zillennial. If he was 98, okay, if he was 3 years old in 98, I think he was born in 95. So he's a zillennial. He's a millennial. Sometimes I think he's a millennial or a zillennial. He's one of the two, but I think he's a zillennial. I think that 95 and down. Yeah, he's a zillennial. Therefore, it was it was impossible for me to come across Wolf Boy or subject to his string of requirements for a romantic partner. But the term sapiosexual didn't gain widespread appeal until 2014. Like I said, 2010s. I said this in part one, and this confirms it. This is called the swaddle.com. And it talks about sapiosexual. It's not revolutionary to be attracted to intelligence. I might have to save this one as well. This is another damn good one. More proof. That's where it comes from. There's more facts right here. If someone wants to debate me about it on other platforms, I got links in it. After the dating app OkCupid, I just mentioned earlier, allowed users to choose sapiosexual from the drop-down list of sexual orientations at the time, while many men took up as a symbol of their depth of character and expanse of intellect. The company also came under fire for equating what is essential and unduly glorified sexual preference to a sexual orientation, and an aspect of identity for which many people face social discrimination and judgment. No, sapiosexuality is not a sexual orientation. Why? Because claiming only to be attracted to someone's intelligence is not how a brain is wired. Why? Because intelligence varies. It varies, and it's also subjective upon personal interpretation. So essentially, calling yourself a sapiosexual means nothing to a person hearing it. Let's read that again. Ask why? Because claiming only to be attracted to someone's intelligence is not how a brain is wired for that certain individual. Why? And here's the why. Because the intelligence varies and it's also subjective upon personal interpretation. So essentially, calling yourself a sapiosexual means nothing to the person hearing it. Not only is sapiosexuality not a sexual orientation, it is also not valid in sexual preference. It is like saying you're a mediocre sexual if you like doctors, or an athletal sexual if you like sports. That's what they say. And let's see what's going on here. I don't mean to pause. Just give me a second. I'm gonna check some of the messages. Yeah, I'm good on that. I'm gonna turn something off real quick. Okay. Yeah, sports players. Before we deconstruct what it means to be attracted to intelligence, let's try to decipher what it means to be intelligent. Uh-oh, they about to go in. Okay, let's read that again. Before we deconstruct what it means to be attracted to intelligence, let's try to decipher what it means to be intelligent. It is to being able to recite Yeats. It is being able to make a FRINDS, friends, reference. It is being able to gauge emotions, response in a constructive manner. Let's read that from the top. Is it being able to gauge emotions and respond in a constructive manner? It is known how to construct a chair or play the piano. It is being a good communicator or a good strategist or a disciplined athlete. We live in a world that has a dangerously narrow definition of intelligence. Facts, I agree with that. And so people who filter their preference on basis of such run the risk of filtering out diversity that makes the process of dating exciting. The variation, the chance of finding someone who might teach you a thing or two about something you never thought to learn, or the opportunity to understand that your own definition of intelligence was a painfully narrow. Yeah, it's narrow mind. It's kind of jaded, and I like how they broke that down. Relations on the swaddle of the ghosts and Dracula's modern dating trends explain. This, might I add, is very helpful, illustrated in an app designed to market towards a self-proclaimed sapiosexuals called Sapio, which debuted in 2017. While initially it may sound like the app would require you to take a Ravenclaw-style quiz to enter its digital common room, The interface is actually quite wholesome. The app offers a comprehensive 21-point questionnaire, the answers to which an algorithm then matches the users who have answered similarly. The questionnaire includes hopes and dreams and achievements and hypotheticals according to the website. Basically, everything one would idly talk on the first date to feel the other person out to see if they're compatible. But there is where this is where self-proclaimed sapiosexuals fall short. Most of the time, what they in a sufferably elitist manner claim as intelligence is mostly just an intellectual or emotional connection with a potential partner. This so-called intelligence is often dressed up in a classist requirements of well-spoken English or knowledge of obscure literature. Meanwhile, almost everyone else is weighing up in the intellectual compatibility all the time. Can I talk to this person? Do we share the same interests? Would they be able to understand my point of view? Evaluating these things don't make you a highbrow, super selective sapiosexual. It makes you human. Most people value intelligence. Let's read it again. Most people value intelligence. Be a academic, emotional, what one calls street smarts, or vocational. Let's read that part. Be it academic, emotional, what one calls street smarts, or vocational. It is hardly needs to become a character defining. And sapiosexuality in actuality is exactly that, a trait that's less about a peculiar attraction to intelligence in others, more about staunchly position oneself as someone not swayed by conventionally beautiful people or not looking to have a mindless one night stand. And hey, I get it. When casual sex is laughably easy to reach via dating apps, it might be difficult to tell someone you're interested in an honest connection without having to hide behind a label that lends some superiority to a stance that would otherwise be considered vulnerable. But there are ways to be deep, insightful, intimidated, and curious, none of which I guarantee you can be accomplished by calling yourself an so mighty sapiosexual. People will make fun of you. You will deserve it. And to those who come across, okay, I'll read it again. And those who come across one in the wild, if they say things like that, good vocab is seductive. For the love of God, please swipe left. And this was written by Raji Dasi, talking about the sapiosexual, the swaddle, which is it's an interesting article. I like it. I'm going to keep that in just in reference. I'll read this last part and I'll see how many minutes that I went in. Okay. It's only 2. Okay, 2 in the box. Okay. Ooh, 3 in the box. Okay, good. Only 4 likes. Yeah, to the brothers. Yeah. Already in. I agree about your privacy. I'm not going to take it. TheTab.com from the UK. I would say September 23rd, 2019. That was 2 years ago. They talk about this. How to tell if you're a sapiosexual when you're only attracted to people's intelligence. This is people love using this term back then. It was popular 2 years ago. So it's been around since 2014. I'm going to subtract now. It's been around since 98. Let's just put it that way. We're gonna put this in. Calculator. Let's go 1998. Subtract 2020. So the term's been around since 22 years. That's very young. I mean, it's a long time, but it's 22 years old. That's very young. So when it got popular in 2014, I was 26 at the time. I'm 33 right now. So let's look at 21. Well, actually, the term is 23 years old. So the term's been around since 7 years. That's a 7-year term of its reemergence for 7 years. It lasted for 7 years. Y'all been hearing this term since 2014, and That was in 7 years. That's a long time. And then the guy that wrote it back in 98, that was 23 years ago. So the concept's been around since online since 23 years ago. So yeah, that's a good estimation in the math. Do you find out impossible to fancy people unless they vibe with you intellectually? Do you prefer deep conversations or a passionate debate over shallow flirting? Do you find someone intelligent their mostly sexually attractive feature? If so, then you might be a sapiosexual. See, I just read through that, and it's by Javier something something. She's foreign, probably some Arabic. Yeah, I just read that part. Okay. What does sapiosexual mean? People who identify as sapiosexual see a person's intelligence as their most important trait. It believes the term first came into conversation when OkCupid confirmed again, expanding its life sexual change by adding up, yep, mix. But the term is used to trace back as 2002. They said Wolf Boy, but actually it's 1998. So they used 2002. He was on this. So he's been a user since 98. That's about 23 years ago. That's like 20 some years ago. Actually, it's 19 years ago. It's 19 years ago. 2002 is 19 years ago. It'll be 20 years next year, because 2001 is 20 some years, if you think about it. It makes sense, don't it? Yep. That's a long time. How can you tell if you're a sapiosexual? You turn on by someone's intelligence. Your idea of flirting is giving each other good recommendation on books, music, art, whatever you're both interested in. You're turned off by people who have bad grammar. See, it's little simple shit like that. And your attraction to someone develops over time as you get to know their mind. You think having a stimulating intellectual conversation is better than casual sex. That's what they say. That's a sapio. That's what they coming with. That's what they was talking about in the brain trust. They don't go in depth like I do with the research. And here goes Mark Ronson again. What are the ways to turn on sapiosexuals on? Some people who identify as sapiosexuals say to turn them on, including reading them your favorite book, doing the Mensa workout, using correct grammar, spelling, taking them out on unconventional dates, and being nerdy and proud of it. Yeah, I covered this in part 1, and this article, the tabs, said the same thing. Mark Ronson recently said in an interview he identifies, we just read that from the other article, as sapiosexual. He said he interviewed on the Good Morning Britain, blah, 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 dressed in the room. Yeah, okay. Ain't much here. Yeah. I'm just gonna stop the screen share. And it's quite interesting, you know. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I just want to see something real quick. Yeah, man. I had to cover this topic. I mean, this is part 2 of it. I'm just trying to see what's what. I mean, it's relevant today. I mean, we can do searches all the time. This is part 2. I'm gonna go to 1. It's up here. I'm gonna switch it. 16 ways. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. Yeah. All right, what's going on, Absalon? Yeah, man. But we're gonna get up in here today. Yeah, man. Yeah, I talked about this in part 1. This ad off here. And showing you a picture of a woman like that. Yeah, and be relationships. It's just something, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm just gonna put this out here. I ain't got much on part 2. So I covered everything in part 1. I covered it in the brain trust and all that. but copy and post. Let's see what we got here. Paste this in here. Yeah, I dropped the link down here. I'm gonna pin it. It's pinned. Yeah. Yeah, man. This is one of the parts that I've covered in part 1. Pay attention to their unique interests. And then the 2 of the Sapio sections are like, yeah, I mentioned all that. So I'll explain the first one. Pay attention to their unique interests. Oh, shit. Did I hit that by mistake? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Okay, let's go back here for a second. I keep doing that. I can't stand Chrome sometimes. Okay. Yeah, let's read that again. Okay. Pay attention to their unique interests. Orate your foreplay. Number 3, plan the cookbook or library dates. I covered this all in part 1. Discover the culture together. Letting them teach you. Having game night, but with a twist, which is wild. I read it. Align your interests. Are you up to it? Instead of you up, share your passion. That's number 9. I covered all this in part 1. Documentary and chill. Talk nerdy to them. Write a short story together. Read to them. That's number 13. Number 14, pretend host a podcast episode. 15, get controversial. Get controversial conversations. And then 16, learn a new skill together. Yeah, this is by Fraud Daniel. Yeah, this is another one. That's like the dating aspect of it. You know, this is my last time discussing it, but and I'll see. Yeah, the link's in the chat if you feel free. So, I just put it in there. I ain't got that much to discuss, and I'll keep going to see who comes up. Let's see. Go with the world. Yeah. This is what I have. Play gonna be wild all day. Yeah. I'm live streaming right now. Oh man. All right. I got a mess over here. I need to get my ass charging. Pack is reeling right now. I don't know. Okay, let's get it charged. And yeah, I'm gonna get this out of the way. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. And then I'm gonna go with the other. This right here. Yeah, let's go back. It's by Sarah. I'm just looking at links to find right now. That's what I'm talking about. It's the basics. Yeah, man. Yeah, this topic is what I just want to put out. It's all good. And then I'm gonna put this out here. I covered all this in part 1. So I think you are drawn to a potential partner. It's intelligence more than looks or personality. Yeah, I covered all this. The alphabet expert may be more important interested in discussing books and politics with someone on the first date rather than trying to begin a sexual relationship. Immediately she says they have an online dating profile that focuses more on their career or their academic goals than on trying to find someone to engage in sex with. If you find yourself most drawn to someone's intellect, this is a very good sign you are a sapiosexual. So that's part 1. I talk about this as well. You're drawn to potential partners, intelligence more than looks or personality. Then you have the intellectual conversations that turns you on. And it says the sapiosexuals are not only drawn to potential partners' intellect, they are often physically turned on by intelligence. If political debates or long discussions about literature really get you in the mood for the sex, this is another sign that you are a sapiosexual. That's what they're saying in here. This is by the same website, moneybygreen.com, by the MBG relationships. Yeah, and it talks about all that stuff, man. Like, and the same sexuals and the alphabets getting upset about it. I covered all that. So, and that's the whole point. So, of the stream. But I know people ain't gonna come up and discuss that because it's a touchy topic in the sphere. Because I covered this in the brain trust last year with them, and I asked them based off what is the sapiosexual thing, and they didn't give me no clear answers. So I posted links to see. I want to see if they have it on their about me section. I'm gonna brainstorm a little bit. Kwame's live. Okay. 5% Joey. Oh man. They online. Ramil's online. Kel Mitchell. I remember Kel. Hold on. Progressive Brothers. Everybody's live streaming. So I can't live stream a lot. Okay. This may be short. It may go to an hour. Hold on. I'll check these dudes out and then I may go over. Let's see the brain trust. I won't find it, y'all. Hold on. Just give me a second. Because dudes be on this nonsense. Because I know people ain't coming up. So yeah, I'm getting views off this. Hold on. Let's see what we got here. Don't you worry. I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna confirm what I'm saying is true. My back's spitting. I hate when my back is crackling and tearing up. Now when your back is hurting, yeah, I want to drink some water. Hold on. Where's the? Oh, here it is. It scrolled past me. Okay, let's go about the about me section. And talking about intellectualism, sapiosexualism. Okay, we're gonna look at this term right here. We're gonna look at this term right here. We're gonna stop screen share, and this is what I'm talking about in the space they talk about. Okay, we're gonna stop the screen share. And let's look at what they're talking about. We're gonna talk about them for a minute. Ain't no shot to them. See this right here? See, they talk about the technocratic, the ideals of globalization, geo domestic politics. Talk about blockchain, cryptocurrency, AI. We know that economies and health, relatable to social commentary. See, sapiosexualism equals intellectualism. That's what it says. But the critical thought of problem solving, yeah, that's what they talk about. But mainly, this right here threw me off because I asked them a question about it. It was like last year, and I talked about it. They are the only ones kind of discussed that as a group, but enough of them, and it's just brought to my attention that certain individuals that do that. I mean, they discussed it, and then that's just the thing that I discussed. But the thing is, I think I'd uncovered most of it in part one. So I'm just saying, like, for future reference, I ain't gonna do enough of these because it's not that much to explain. It's some pushback to it, and there's some discussions about it. I know people's live stream everywhere, so I'm just gonna chill for a minute and take my time, and because I know I ain't getting the view count, but that's okay. But that's all good because let's see what I'm talking about here. Let's go and use another tab, and let's go with the Sapio thing and all that. The share. All right, what's going on, man?
Yo, what's up, bro?
You doing good, man?
Yeah, man, just come up here and try to, build with you for a little bit.
Oh, cool,
Peep
cool,
some
cool, cool.
games, see what you getting into.
Yeah, man, I'm just trying to clear this topic out of the ballpark. Something I've talked about last year when I was on the brain trust, and I was curious with the pushbacks in these articles and seeing if it's relevant today or not.
You
Let me
sound
see.
like you bogging a little bit. You think it's me? Maybe should I come back in?
No, let me see.
You sound like you good now.
Yeah, I'm good now.
Okay.
But yeah, um, yeah, I was studying it last year, man. Like it kind of threw me off, and I asked them a question about it, and they didn't go in depth with it. So I did several topics on it, and I was like, man, I'm like, y'all even talk about the alphabet group going against it, not as an orientation. That's something y'all might want to look at in the future. So yeah, man.
Okay, yeah, because I'm a little bit familiar with them. I think I just I'm not I gotta go back and double check. You said Black Brain Trust, right?
Yeah, they the only ones was talking about it, and I was just trying to understand what they mean by the intellectual part, and then they mentioned sapiosexual. But I heard the term, she broadcasts herself as a self-proclaimed sapio, and I was curious, and I asked him about it, and I think he went on a whole diatribe last year explaining, had a series of it, but didn't go in depth with the alphabet group with against this term sapiosexual, because it's not discussed publicly, but it's online mostly. That's what I'm seeing. So, it's
Mm.
an interesting topic. Yeah. It's rarely discussed. So,
Yeah, I think that's something that should be hit on more, throughout the space, as far as brothers learning how to tap into that more because from the conversations that sometimes that I get from it, it sounds like that's the road that most men travel, and it's like they're unaware of that, and that could be a reason and a source for a lot of the maybe like the issues or whatever that they may have with like women and shit. Because I like to deem myself as a sapio, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes
hmm
as well.
hmm
Definitely, I think it needs to be. addressed more, you know, throughout the space. So I agree with that.
Yeah, because this is a tricky topic. People not accepting this term. You need to look at links like this Mark Ronson guy because he's the key of all of it. And I think it's a hard subject for most people to understand. You know, this is a big deal, and males got to be careful if you are that or whatever. But you know, it's been around since '98. I've heard in certain links, and then when I found out, peace, Brownsburg. But yeah, it's one of those terms I've heard. You know, but last year, an individual named Complex is talked about it in depth. He didn't go in depth with it like this, you know, because I'm doing more research on it. But you know, this is only like two parts of it, and then I'm gonna probably go into hybristophilia. He used another term last year. I'm gonna cover these soon, but you know, I'm just gonna do more research on it. But this one is just something I want to do and just have a little discussion. I can go back to link. You know, just rarely. I'll probably dab it in there in a conversation or whatever. So you
True.
know,
Yeah.
yeah. Ain't nothing serious, but you know, it's one of those topics I hear a lot in the sphere. So, you know.
That's interesting, man. That's real interesting right there. Like you said, I think it's something that's worth, you know, to look into. Definitely. So I'm gonna put my email in the back chat. So if you don't mind, maybe you could send me something on that. I'd definitely like to look into it.
Okay.
Something to learn, you know. I'm always for that.
Yeah.
Is it like any audio with it too, or just
No, it's I think it's like I think you can let's see, you can try what's this one? The National Post. You can try any of them. Like you just type in Sapio sexual or what it is and whatever, and you just glance at it, the history of it. But it came from this white guy, and it kind of just explained things. Okay. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I think if that's what most of us would know, you know, in the ins and out of it, the basics of it, I really believe that that can help, you know, people be better at engaging in, you know, those kind of women that kind of apply that to today's lifestyle as well, or really fashion themselves to find that as a like, you know, real attractive in a man. So I think it
Hmm.
works both ways.
Yeah. It's one of those terms. It's new, but it's not really that new. It's like only 23 years old. Like a guy just came up with it, but the concept is not that new. But they gave a term for it back in I think the late '90s and in the 2010s it got popular. See, I didn't know it was popular in 2014. So this ain't nothing new. Y'all probably talked about this about a while, and it's not widely discussed as much. So yeah, it's one of those terms. I'm like, okay,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's real interesting to me because, like I said, I used to hear about it, but I never really delved much into it. But just knowing pretty much of, you know, somewhat of the basics of the definition, I kind of just, you know, took that and applied it because I said, you know, I like to study a lot and you know, reading just little small things like that, which most people do, you know, at their leisure in their own time. But a lot of people, they don't like find no interest in that shit. You know, like even women. So when I hear things a lot of times like now with a lot of people pushing these these narratives talking about like how older men 50 plus and things like that, they should be looking for women under 30 or 20s, you know, in the early 20s. And I'm like, it sounds good, but that's like what the Caucasians do, like what they call the trophy wife, you know, because it's like
Mm-hmm.
if you're a male that's a sapiosexual and you dating a woman that young, it's gonna be kind of difficult if she's not into that realm of the sapio to be able, yeah, to float in that space. You're not gonna be able to invade her cosmos like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Yeah,
what kind of conversations could y'all have? What would y'all have in common? You see what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. It's mostly books. And it talks about the intellectual stuff. It goes for the intelligence route, and then you got to check if she's gonna switch up on you. Like I think I talk about the hybristophilia with him, and the one with no hybristophilia, because he said you would rather not take the one with hybristophilia. I'll cover that subject sometime next week or something, and then I'll probably explain why he chose the one without, because some people can't deal with a smart woman, because it's really that simple. It ain't that hard. It's just when she flips on you, that's the thing. Because how you gonna be with her long term? So they're thinking the short term. A lot of these dudes ain't built for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. When they say smart women, what you mean? I mean, it's plenty of smart women, but a sapient woman is difficult because it's not been dealt with. They're not even classified as an orientation according to the alphabet group. They just, it's some pushback. That's
Mm,
the one they don't discuss. They don't discuss that part. That's the part that needs to be researched, and I want them to research it. Why is there a pushback on it? Because you got Mark Ronson came out and said he's open with it, but there's no studies for the pushback. You know what I mean? Because there's a debate about it. That's why it's not popularized right now. It's popularized online, but not in real life.
mm.
And that's the problem. And that's not good. Because people getting the stuff and claim stuff online, they just go off the handle. You know what I mean?
No, you're right. You're right. It goes a whole, different turns up. It turns up to another, higher level, higher pitch. And then you just lose track of everything, in my opinion. That's how it works in some instances. But that's kind of funny that you say that, because I'm like, wow, I'm thinking it came to my head. I'm like, yeah, so what, like, I don't think they're gonna loop the PhD woman in that conversation.
I mean, you can have a
This is
PhD and be a
they smart
sapio.
women, plenty of smart women, but
Yeah.
would that really be considered the sapio?
I mean, they can be. Some of them are PhDs, some of them are scientists or doctors. It depends. Not everybody's smart in those professions, but if you're like intelligence, the key word is intelligence, right? They
Mm-hmm.
look for a certain individual based off looks of intelligence. If she's really pretty, that's where they lose you, and they don't explain the physical body type of a sapiosexual woman, because it doesn't really matter, because those dudes cannot get that. Like, this is
Mm.
probably the problem why they don't discuss in depth, because you have to go against the alphabet group and explain your sexuality, because that's one of them. And two, you got to explain the history of it. It's all of this based online, so it's nothing new. So
Man, ooh, okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Now, one day you say that it's not really out there per se, as far as on the physical realm yet. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to look into that.
Yeah. I'll give you mines in the back chat. And if you ask for mines, let me give you mines just in case.
Yep, that'll work. Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll send it to you, because let me see. I'll send this.
right.
And copy and paste it on. Copy and paste. Here's the link in the back chat for it. That's one of them. Let me see this. I'm going to, yeah, I'm gonna put this in the back chat. I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna give you another one. Hold on. That's like the 4 steps and his 16 ways to attract. This is good right here. I'm gonna copy and paste it in the back chat. And then if you research, and then I'll probably do a piece on it in the future, because this is kind of a conversation you want to have. I know Gold P's live right now. I just shared his stuff.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's live right now because I know, and I think Ramil is too. So I'm looking at his stuff right now. So yeah, I just talked to New last night over BGS's. I mean, they was tripping about that slave stuff. I mean, oh my God, we having this conversation again. It's 2012ish.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I had to jump on there I really wanted to, get some more, as VGS was saying, smoke, but it was so much dudes, you know what I'm saying, jumping on there and going in. I'm like, I didn't want to be like being placed as the bad guy, you know what I'm saying? Even though he did
Mm-hmm.
say, what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, he was looking for some smoke, so
Mm-hmm.
I figured the same thing as well. I'm like, to be having that conversation and then it's like I don't think it was too much wrong with it. My thing was those like there was no balance. There's never no balance in none of these. Most of these conversations that go on is just lopsided arguments. You see what I'm saying? It's like
Mm-hmm.
this
Yeah.
way or it's the highway. It's like, come on. It's like they trying to debunk up sitting up there, not even debunking, but pretty much clowning a brother like Dane Calloway's work. And it's like, yo, you can sit there all you want, but he got his own following. So and none of you guys are offering to debate him on his stuff. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
just gonna denounce his shit and make it seem like he don't know what he talking about, but you got all the answers, it's like you gotta show and prove your work. You can't just be sitting up here, we just talking in that case. You know what I'm saying? It's like who really has the facts? I can't just say you got the facts over him. I'm gonna respect it, what you bringing to the table, but at the same time, I mean, it's no unity going on. We can agree to
Mm-hmm.
disagree, still have progress, still make progress. Everybody, still networking, but it's just like
Yeah.
Kwame Brown saying, it's just get along, go along. The good boys club and shit. That's what I'm noticing all around the board when I'm on these panels. Most of
Yeah.
them for that.
Yeah. And I mean, everything they say is it's kind of accurate, but everybody's got different viewpoints of looking at it. But my problem is, yeah, you can take the slave aspect, but most people don't believe. I would say the dates are wrong in 1492 because we don't know what happened. I could tell you about the Buccaneers had slaves along with others that were dark skinned. The white man broadcasted later on during I would say the French Indian War and all that. So you can go in depth how Rome was connected to British. If you want to talk about
Hmm.
Freemasonry, it's all based on masonry. They control that, but he ain't gonna discuss it because since he's esoteric, so I don't know who he's aligned to. So that's why he's very careful. If you notice, he tries to be
Yeah,
careful with
very
those
careful.
topics. Yeah, he's very careful on those topics. The reason I did do those videos of the esoteric beliefs is because that's what he believes in. See, I pay attention what he says, and the reader or the subscriber or the followers don't get it because no, he's an esoteric teacher for a reason. He's going for certain people. He don't want all the dummies on the panel. That's why he be laughing and pot shot them to death, and he doesn't care. But that's just BGS. That's just BGS. That's why I've noticed from him since last year, and I learned about him last year and study his black pill stuff. It makes sense what he's talking about. He'll take information he learned from the conscious community. I've seen this almost decades ago, since 2012, and other cultists will tell you they challenge people's knowledge. See, Freemasons don't do that. They just give you like a religious book and do rituals on you, like the mob. You know, they don't even care. But he's careful who he's cool with. See, he don't go in depth in domestic politics as much. He'll go in depth on geopolitical stuff. I've noticed that. But that's why he is smart. And I was going to say that yesterday on Kuda's panel. No, he's esoteric. There's a reason why he's secretive and quiet like that, because he don't want to get found out or someone try to kill his ass. But you know, and I understand he's a young boomer. He's one of the old heads, but he's one of the young boomer generation. You know, they got the knowledge. They the ones dealt in that esoteric stuff, not the old boomers. It's some, but not many. That's why he's very careful with his followers. You know, he picks who he picks on the panel. Now, if you're a regular, he'll respect you, because 9 out of 10, you ain't gonna see Judge Dre and Charles Farkin talk about his stuff. They'll talk about it a little bit because they're fair, but the rest of them, they just want to talk about women all day. See, that right there, he's okay with that on the side and protect certain game dudes, but that's just BGS. You know, he said that he has no problem with anyone. Like I try to tell you, yes, he's black pilled, but he's pragmatic. He doesn't really care. He just want the message, you know, to be right. You know, a lot of these dudes get confused on relationships. See, they're trapped in the blue pill lifestyle relationship. That's what they want. And he's right. See, red pill ain't supposed to be about relationships. It's supposed to learn to survive in enlightenment. Really, red pill is basically enlightenment. How to understand relationships, how to understand people, how to dodge a lot of things. And the problem with the red pill PUA doctrine that they're using doesn't work. That's why a lot of dudes like to finesse and game women. It's so easy to get the vagina now than ever before. Back in the day, it was a lot harder. That's why you had a lot of tricks and simps dancing to songs, you know, but it goes both genders. A woman is a trick too, in a way, naturally. But when a man acts like a female with whole energy, like DS1 says, that's basically what you're doing. It's that energy of it. It's not just you paying for sex, it's the risk involved. Now they trying to say gang dudes do the same. Not necessarily. Some of them do, but not all of them don't. They're finessing. That's why a lot of people don't understand. If you have it and if you're blessed with it, that's you. But you know, ignore the lifestyle and they don't want to do 35-year bid or more. That's why Platinum is very careful what he says. He don't say much. I mean, yeah, if he knows some industry dudes on the side, he knows what their dirty little secrets are. They don't go in depth with their Masonic stuff. Why do you think Kuda knows all that stuff? You know, he's careful. You know, I listen to what they say and who they have on their panel. You know, in BGS, they're not going to go in depth with all that, because that'll get them messed up. You know what I mean? But, you know, and they're very careful online. That's why I saw this stuff back in 2012. This is technically my second channel. So I've been here since the first Manosphere. You know, they wasn't talking about this stuff. They call it metaphysics, but later it's really esoteric stuff, if you want to get technical, you know.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you're right about that. That's real deep right there, man. You know, because yeah, man, the elder, he be on it, man.
Yeah. I
He
mean,
be on
they be trying to trip him and stuff. And I understand, because BGS is one of those dudes that you can listen to. But I mean, I don't agree everything he says. You know, I take his stuff sometimes a grain of salt, and I try to
Oh
back check.
yeah, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yep.
I debate him on a few things, and we kind of disagreed on a few things, and that's it. But as human, but he respects my disagreement because I understand where he's coming from. So we understand what's what. You know, it's just most dudes that he follow, he noticed they don't read. Well, there's a reason they don't read. They choose not to, and it's sad that it's okay to read something that you don't know. You ask him a question, then he'll recommend a book, and you have to learn for yourself. Really, most men should learn, you know, at the age. You never stop learning when you get older, because when I stop learning, if I know enough, that's when, you know, if you pass away or whatever, you already know what you need to survive. You know, most men should learn more. You know, you're never too old to learn. You know, like even himself, he'll tell you, you know, it's not a
Yeah.
perfect world. It's not a perfect world out here, man. You got to know this stuff. Like if you been through families and stuff, and he'll tell you, he's the only one who can tell you that what's going on, because he has more balance than these other older guys, but he done seen it all. So he's in the third and fourth quarter. That's why I don't even attack him as much. What's the point? What's the point? It's these
Right.
50 and yeah, it's these 50 and 40-year-olds can't get their head up out of their ass, man. They just want to argue and be nihilists all day. Because I get it. I understand where they come from. And these groups are not helping. That's not red pill. That's some blue pill shit that they come out of it. But if they were red pill, they have to choose enlightenment because 95% of those groups, their followers are not really red pill. They're basically blue pill, want a relationship. That's why you see a lot of divide amongst people over at Ramil's. When Ramil left, he was already 5,000. I subscribed when he had 5,000. Then he jumped up to 6,000 to 7,000. But I told you, my prediction is he'll get 10,000 at the end of the year or more. And next year he's going to get 20,000. He's the next up because he does a balance of fuckery, little gems there and there. But he's a reformer. He done been reformed. He tries to say he's a reformed Pookie. Well, to me, you don't sound like a Pookie. You sound like a reformed Ray Ray. See, a Pookie don't talk like that. He's just a guy dabbling with problems, like a homeless person, like a homosexual. That's basically what a Pookie is, or basically a lame etymology terms. Because I have a cousin that was nicknamed that, even though he lived the lifestyle, but he told me don't deal with the drugs and the gangs and stuff from the
Mhm.
South. And he passed away at 2019, found his body dead because he had a bone disease. They was trying to remove his leg or whatever, and he wasn't going. It's that pride, you know what I mean? And that's how people live. But the Ray Rays is doing time beating up on the guys that's obvious, they're doing the hard time. They doing all the work. Those gangsters, those Chads out there, they doing the damage. A lot of people can disagree with that, but no, that's a Ray Ray because a real Ray Ray is bold with it. He's not online uh talking shit. These people are fake in real life. Like they ain't built like that. And if they would say that in person, they would get slaughtered, man. That's why I laugh at these dudes. Why beef with them? And
Yeah. Yeah. It's a waste of time. It's not like you ever going to come across them in real time. Most of. It's like the rap beefs. The rappers be, most of them they rarely ever see each other. Me, and then you have like the younger ones who really with all the shits. That's a different scenario. They got, I guess, more to lose or less to lose, rather. The younger ones. Uh-oh. You still there, bro? Think he stepped away or something. Maybe disconnected. Yeah, man, that Sapio stuff is serious, man.
yeah, my Wi-Fi just got janky a little bit. Sorry about that. But
Oh,
yeah,
you
I'm
good?
good. Yeah. Yeah, man. It's one of those things, man. Like I've learned last night. They just went crazy, man.
Yeah, that was I had to jump off because I had to I had to
Yeah,
go, tend to some things with my lady. So,
yeah,
it was a pleasure being on. But
yeah,
yeah, like I said, I want to bring a little bit more smoke with the Dan Calloway stuff. Some of his talking points.
hmm
Even though I know they were going to pretty much try. BGS was going to shatter that shit to pieces, but
yeah. It lasted for 5 hours and 55 seconds. And I was watching the Lakers game last night too, while they was about to go off, and they was talking for like 5 hours. I said, no, it's not gonna be no 8 hour shit. It's a shatter point.
okay,
And
okay,
yeah, and I watched Denver beat the Blazers. It was a close game, but they won. And while they was talking, I think Mike V was asking about the Celtics, and I said, no, they're gonna get Lloyd Pierce. They already got Brad Stevens as a GM, so they got rid of Danny Ainge. I said, oh shit, the Celtics are gonna be terrible. We'll see,
man.
man. Yeah. But
Yeah,
and
I
then
could. I mean, I left the live stream to go watch the rest of that game, that Lakers game, and I was so pissed. I was like, man, I don't know why I did
yeah,
this.
I'm not surprised that they lost. I mean, it started out good in the beginning, but Anthony Davis hurt himself. That's what cost him the game. It was there. And I knew they was gonna win because they kept fouling Booker and everybody else. He was on fire, man. It's like, damn, I didn't realize he was that good. But the next round's gonna be hard because you got Denver.
Okay, yeah. So Portland is out. They're done.
And LA is too. But the LA plays tonight too. The Clippers against Dallas. I want Dallas to put them out. Dallas is a good team. I don't trust Paul George.
I think, yeah, I think it's so it should be that series is what 3-2, right?
3-2 as well. Yes, yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
okay, yeah. So I hope Dallas put them out too, because I said shit. If my Lakers gotta go, then Clippers gotta go too.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's only right.
That's 9 o'clock at night. Yeah. And if they go game 7, that'll be Sunday. Yeah. So they did what they supposed to. Yeah. I'll watch that at night at 9 o'clock. I don't know who's hosting that, but we'll see on NBA TV. So I'll be up for that one. Um, yeah. And I was watching Just DeAndre as well. The same time I had BGS on my phone, and then I had BGS on this Chromebook I'm using right now. And
Okay.
yeah, I was looking at Just DeAndre in my Chromebook. He was talking about some deep stuff and just passed through, showing some love. That dude is so long with it, man. He be preachy. Cool dude though.
I don't think I came across his works yet.
Yeah,
You said
he
just DeAndre?
Just DeAndre. He's a cool dude, man. Like that man is something else, boy. I'm telling you. Like that dude be so long winded. I'll be over there at Kuda's one time when he had the internet problem, like I just did. It would lasted for like 12 hours, but they capped it off 11, right? That dude be so preachy, man. But he
So
got some insight.
is he more long-winded than Edward
A
Anderson?
little bit, a little bit, but he gives you his term. But he's a cool dude though, man. That boy is he's vicious with it. Vicious with it.
Hmm. Okay, I'm gonna look into
And
some of the stuff.
yeah, I might post it in the chat. I want to see what his stuff is. Just DeAndre is something else. I mean, that dude be going in. I don't care what nobody said. That dude is incredible. Like, he's good to talk to, even though I think he lives in Japan, but he's a good dude. And he told me something about George Floyd. Like, he already had the problems before that fentanyl stuff. You know what I mean? It's just, you got a certain individual why I gave a nickname to. I call him that for a reason. He gets mad when I call him that. And he takes it so
Isn't
personal.
the other brother Game Changer? Isn't he out there somewhere too?
Yeah.
Japan or something like that?
No, he's in California. He's in California. He's in California. Um, what's this kid? It's in the chat. Copy. I'm gonna post it in the chat if y'all wanna check out Just DeAndre. Let's see here. Paste. There you go. I posted it in the chat. I'm gonna give you the back chat. Check out his channel as well. I'm gonna put some links in here. Okay. This dude is something else. Yeah. Subscribe to this brother, man. Like, he's awesome. Copy that. And I'm going to post it. Yeah, my internet went out for a minute, but that's okay. That's okay. Makes a decent live stream for an hour, so I enjoyed it. Yeah, that's his channel, man. Like, check this dude out, man. That dude's incredible. He is incredible. He just did a live stream. You can listen to the playback. Um, it's called Sessions 4. I've been in his 1/3 show, episode, season 2, and all that stuff. Yeah, that dude is incredible, man. I think he's originally from Baltimore. He's cool with Charles Faulkner. He's cool with Charles Faulkner.
Okay.
Yeah. He told me about Charles. They went to the same like wrestling team and stuff like that. I said, yeah, I won't tell that to Charles that I talked to Just DeAndre. That dude is something else, man. Yeah. He wealth of knowledge.
Okay, cool, interesting. So they're around the same age then.
Pretty much. Yeah. I think they rounded. Yeah. He's a good dude. I think he's in his 30s, I believe. Around that. Yeah, they know each other. So I think late 30s, yeah. But he's got a wealth of knowledge. I listen to him on Kudas, and him and Fasting went at it. They had a little disagreement, talking about the Africans know which one was Egyptian, the Bantus that goes back. You know, most Western Africans came from Egypt, but not all West Africans are, you know, talking about us being Semitic, which is the see Fasting. What I like about him and these Africans, they tell who's who. See, BGS ain't gonna go into that. He ain't going to, because a lot of people don't know. Other races know. That's why I went to school with Sudanese, that they have the Egyptian background. You know, they're the ones can tell you what they did, customs and stuff. Always ask questions. That's what I liked about them. And
it's like it was like you know, more so initiation process, right?
yeah, and they was telling me about things like that, and then I learned a lot from them. But see, other cultures, they teach you about themselves, how they treat people, what they think of people, what they think of us over here. And they know them scriptures very well. A lot of these races do. They just don't tell you on TV. They just show you that you're African and this and that. But actually, that word is an Italian word by Scipio Africanus. I made 2 pre-records years ago talking about that from a website. And see, I didn't want to jump on the panel because I was laughing what they were saying. The stuff BJS was saying is nothing new. They talked about this stuff in his time. Now it made its way to the internet in 2012. So it's nothing new. So, you know. But yeah, but the Sapio stuff, I just want to cover it. Just want to put it out there, and you know, it's just like, man, it's crazy, but you know,
Yeah,
yeah,
man. I'm gonna definitely go jump and look into that, man.
yeah. I put the stuff in the back chat for you. You know,
Yeah, I'm going to check it out. Right? Yeah. So,
yeah.
man, thanks for having me on, man. I'm gonna jump off and I'm gonna
All right,
dive
appreciate it,
into something
man.
and chop something up, and so I could do me a little video later. But other than that,
Okay,
yeah, man,
I'll
you
check
catch
you out.
up.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
man. Peace,
You're
peace.
welcome anytime. Peace. But let's see right here. But yeah, guys, I just want to cover this Sapio concept in the New